Tottenham have gone out and signed two of the best young talents in the world. Lucas Bergvall, wanted by Barcelona, one of the most technically gifted midfielders who can dribble, who can pass, and Archie Gray, a versatile, technically secure player that could play right back. He's even played centre back, can play DM. They'll be the long-term future of Tottenham's midfield, but it doesn't stop there. They probably have the best 16-year-old in the country in Mikey Moore. He's genuinely a generational talent. Bergvall and Archie Gray are just elite level talents as well. And you look at what Tottenham are building more. They've brought in that Croatian guy that's got one of the highest ceilings in football. Gray, Bergvall, Halls look really good. Donnelly, Phillips, Sarr, Udogie. Sarr and Udogie were recent additions sort of last season that they brought young and loaned out, brought back to Tottenham. Dragison's still very young and you've not seen the best of him. Van De Ven, Johnson, Porro and Kulusevski. You know, the core of Tottenham's squad is the youngest. I believe they actually have the third youngest squad in the Premier League now. You can even add Veliz to that as well. Tottenham are building something special. You look at rising stars, you look at the potential of the players. They've got 4 players with over 9.0 potential at the club. This is probably the most exciting period of Tottenham youth that you guys have had in a while, especially Mikey Moore. I think his level is crazy. He is probably the best 16-year-old in England right now. In England. Not in the world. Lamine Yamal, I believe, is 16, but in England right now. And you saw some of this on full show. Tottenham had a 7-1 battering of Cambridge where Mikey Moore scored. They had, of course, 5-1 win against Hearts where Archie Gray, Mikey Moore, Lancashire, Hall shined, Bergvall shined, and Mikey Moore scored a brilliant goal. Bergvall with an assist. And Archie Gray was the standout player in the first half. Their youth has been looking great. So when you look at Tottenham and their academy, you've got Mikey Moore, a 16-year-old left wing that could play all across the front line. I believe he played right wing versus Hearts, which isn't even his prime position, and he still scored. Tyrese Hall, who's very versatile, can play centre-back, DM, and a lot of positions. Donnelly, a player that, again, I'm not super familiar with, but believe he's more of a second striker. Phillips, who is a centre-back that had a very, very good loan at Plymouth. Devine as well had a very good loan at Port Vale, and he grew on his loan at Plymouth, but is probably better at Port Vale. And then Lancashire, again, a player I wasn't super familiar with, but watching him versus Hearts, he's shown a little bit of promise there as well. So let's talk about Tottenham and their youth and what they have and what it showed. So in the Hearts game, Bergvall got an assist, nearly 2. He sort of contributed to the last goal at the end. He grew into the game. He always wanted the ball, always wanted to make things happen. He could take on his man. Bergvall's movement, when he got the ball, then he made a run. When he got the ball, he made the run. His movement to receive the ball, progress the ball, make the play go forward. Archie Gray put in defensive shift out position. Pretty much, I put 1 average was in the number 1. I've just realised 1 is in WON. What am I thinking? That's so embarrassing. So comfortable on the ball and showed his technical abilities as well. And then you got more for a 16-year-old, the confidence he had to take on his man and make things happen every time he got the ball. Like, that is so rare. And he scored a brilliant goal that he made the most out of that. He really scored a brilliant goal, opened up his dribbling, his 1v1 ability, his ability to create separation, get the shot off, his ball striking, his movement, his reading of the game, out of position. As a 16-year-old is so rare. For a 16-year-old to be that confident and to take on his man and always make things happen is such a rare thing. And I said this in my review of Tottenham Hearts. I said Kobbie Mainoo was a player that I said a year ago after 2 preseason games, I said he's going to be starting for England with Rice and Bellingham in the Euros. And people looked at me and they're like, no. And I said in my video, maybe I'm deluded. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm a Man United fan. But I think Kobbie Mainoo is the guy to start with Rice and Bellingham in the Euros. I think he's the guy. He's the midfielder they need. I think he's going to have a breakout season. He's going to be starting for England. And it was crazy because he hadn't even played an actual game for United. He played 2 games in pre-season. Then he got injured. So he wasn't even back till November of that season. He missed the first 3-4 months of United season because he got injured. But I just said, after 2 pre-season games, he's got it. And Mikey Moore, obviously only watched 1 of the pre-season games, the Hearts game, I don't know, you know when you watch something like he's got it. He's ready. I think this will be a season where he's moulded and he comes off the bench, but I generally think he'll be starting at 18 for Tottenham. I think he's got it. You look at his last 11 games for club and country, hero statistics here. In the last 11 starts, 15 goal contributions. That's insane. Absolutely insane. You actually look at his numbers, 10 goals and assists in 6 games and a goal contribution every 45 minutes in the under-17 Euros. He's obviously too good for that level. In the under-18 Premier League, he got 22 goals and assists in 12 games, which is a goal contribution every 44 minutes. He's a player where I would say his strengths are dribbling, pace, creativity, skills, ball manipulation, finishing technique, IQ, movement. He's got everything that Ange will want in a modern player. In a modern player, you need someone that's technically good. You need someone that's good 1v1 that can make things happen, that's got the IQ. Mentality is obviously a big thing, and work rate is a big thing, but he looks to have that. He's probably got everything Ange will want. Someone that is really good one-on-one and can go out wide, but also someone that's good in tight spaces. I think his movement and IQ to play between the lines. You've seen in his academy days, he can break down low blocks. He's a good set piece taker. He's a good finisher. He's versatile. He's probably got everything Ange wants in a future player. You then look at Bergvall. Now, this is from my video I did on Bergvall, but one of the best players you're going to get in possession, one of the most comfortable players on the ball. He can receive the ball at all angles. He can keep the ball. He's probably a carry-first midfielder that can pass. His ability to move the ball quickly, play forward, wants to make things happen, dribble, take on players. If you look at Lucas Bergvall dribbles, there's some good clips there. And, his passing range is very good. He can break the line. He's able to start transitions. He can play those long diagonal balls, which I think would work really well in Ange ball with the sort of wingers going out wide and some overlaps there as well. But you look at Archie Gray. Now, I think Archie Gray is going to be a fan favourite by the end of the season. I do. I think Archie Gray I think he's going to displace Basuma. I think he'll start a bit of right back, a bit of centre back. I think he could displace Basuma. I think he's that good. You look at his statistics, most tackles are made, most possession won in defensive half, most final third passes, most passes into the ball. He's wasted in defence. He's a midfielder. And the reason Archie Gray's a midfielder is because he's so good at receiving the ball from all angles. He is the prime example of press resistant and technical ability. Give me the ball, I'll pass the ball. I won't give it away. Give me the ball at any angle. I can pass the ball at any angle. I can progress play. I can make the ball go forward. He will help Spurs' build-up play, which is massive. But also he's got the long leg. He's got the physical frame to cover ground. And what Tottenham's biggest weakness was last season, I think, was their midfield was open and the defence got exposed. And the defence had way too much to do. And Micky Van De Ven was going in with hero tackles. His reading of the game, his understanding of the game, his ground coverage, athleticism will also suit elements of Ange ball. But he's got everything you want on the ball. He's got the long legs. He's got everything I think you want in a modern midfielder. And if he's developed properly in the right system, in the right structure, and not completely left alone in the 6th row and isolated, I think he would be unbelievably good. He's a natural midfielder. He probably will play elements of right back. You also look at this duo, and obviously Romero isn't a young player, but this duo works really well. You've got Micky Van De Ven for recovery, for ground coverage, for wide channel defending, 1v1 defending, playing out from the back. But then you've got Romero, who can be a bit more physical, again, just as good as Van De Ven, if not better than Van De Ven at playing out the back. But you've got the aerial duel winner in Romero, and you've got the ground duel winner in Van De Ven. You've got Van De Ven, who's so good 1v1, stopping crosses coming in, defending the wide channel, defending transitions. And then you've got Romero, the box defender, the beast, the monster. And Romero, again, obviously I was watching a bit of Copa America because he was with Lisandro Martinez. Lisandro Martinez isn't the best in the air, but he works so well with Romero because Lisandro Martinez can be the more aggressive player, which is what Micky Van De Ven likes to do, which sounds weird because Romero gets all the red cards, but Micky Van De Ven will come out more and stop transitions and 1v1s. And Romero is that box defender that sweeps up, and that duo works well. And because of how good that duo is, even as soon as they ended up staying fit towards the end of the season, you've not seen Dragusin at his best. When he has played, he's been put on the wrong side. He's a right centre-back. Now, Dragusin is 22, 23, I believe, and he's a warrior type sort of centre-back that Bayern Munich wanted, that is willing to put his body on the line, clean up crosses, sniff out danger in the box. I think he would work really well with Micky Van De Ven if Romero gets suspended or injured. I think he would. He's very good at winning the ball. He's very good in the air, but he's also comfortable on the ball. And his statistics, that weren't the best on the ball because they're not a possession-based side. But off the ball, he's sort of got everything you want. And I think on the ball, he has elements of what you'd like. And I think this is a good player that you'll see more of next season. You've got Porro that's 24, you've got Udogie that's 21, and I think they started really strong. I'd say the first half of the season, they were probably the best two fullbacks in the league. I think Porro dropped off a little bit, but going forward, Porro was really good, but there was some defensive vulnerabilities, but I thought he was really good. And I think when you look at Udogie, I think, again, when he played, he's probably, considering that Luke Shaw was injured and Robertson was injured, there's not really a left-back that had a better season than Udogie. Maybe like Robinson of Fulham had a very good season. Udogie was one of the best left-backs in the league. His movement was really good. He was really helping Tottenham with his inverting and his overlapping, and he's such a versatile player. There's only 21 that's only going to learn, grow, and develop as well as they learn Ange ball. One thing about Ange is he's always better in the second season. There always seems to be a massive development with Ange in second season because it probably takes a year for everyone to learn the system and adapt, which is crazy because Spurs obviously were brilliant their first 12 games under Ange and dropped off, but that was partly due to injuries. But when they learn Ange's system, they'll get better. You've got Pape Sarr, who's a player that I'm a big fan of. I think Pape Sarr is a very good player. I think he's a very underrated player. I think his off the ball movement is really good. I think he's one of those guys that if you get two midfielders that are great on the ball, which is Bergvall and Archie Gray, having someone that's good off the ball like Sarr works really well because he's very good at pressing. He's very good at opening up space. He's very good at reading the game. And when he plays the ball, he runs into space. He's very good in those sort of transition moments. He's very good at sort of combining with the inverted fullback and the winger in that right-hand side. And he can win the ball back. And he's only 21. He's a very good player that Tottenham have there. So then you also look at the likes of Brennan Johnson, who I don't think Tottenham's seen the best of. Obviously, he's been scoring a lot in pre-season. He's looked really frightening when he came off the bench. I think he actually ranked like 4th in the Premier League for assists per minute, or 3rd in the Premier League for assists per minute and chances created. He's been really lethal, very exciting player there. And again, he's only 23. I think he will have a better season as he adapts. And I think when you look at Tottenham and you look at what they're building, I've put some question marks there because I think they might sign a striker or a winger. I think they've got to sign at least one more attacker, whether it's a winger, whether it's a striker, we'll see. And I think potentially someone that could play left centre-back and left-back is probably what they need to add. But that is a very good squad of mostly young players. There's a few names I haven't put in, and I do apologise if I've missed someone really obvious out. So I know I've missed some of the young players out, but Moore's the only academy player I've put in there because I generally think that he's going to be the one that Ange is going to go all in on. I noticed with managers, there's normally like one academy player a season. With Ten Hag, it was Garnacho, then it was Maino. This season at Man United, it's probably going to be Collier. I think Ange will be focusing on more, but you never know with the centre-back situation as well. He could have put Phillips in. So, Tottenham have got a good base. If I was Tottenham, the two players I would add right now is I would have said Desiree Doué, but I think he's Bayern Munich bound, is Hato because he can play left back and left centre back. He can give you coverage there. He's 18, probably one of the best 18-year-old centre backs you're going to get. Question physically, but again, Arsenal wanted to sign him as well, so they'd be mad if you got him, although they have got Calafiore. And then obviously Ivan Toney. I think just a Premier League experienced striker, because personally I believe that Son's better on the wing, and I think if you have Son and Moore as your left wing options and Brennan, Kulu and Werner as your right wing options, Ivan Toney can be your striker. If Richarlison goes, and you get 60 million for him, you could maybe even go push for Gyökeres, who, to be fair, age-wise could be better. Ivan Toney's Premier League proven, and he can do elements of what Kane did, but Gyökeres, there's a few question marks around who you could sign, but I think you should get a striker, push Son on the wing, maybe go for a left back that can play go for a left centre back that can play left back, offer coverage there. Anyway, Tottenham fans, let me know your thoughts on your exciting project ahead. I think that you're building one of the most exciting projects. You have one of the youngest squads in the league, and I think Ange is a very good manager that will be able to develop them. Do apologise about a few mistakes in my PowerPoint. I didn't read it through. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.